There are phases in life when our mornings feel colorless, not tragic, just heavy. The alarm rings, and instead of resistance or excitement, there is simply no response within us. We scroll, we sit, we stare, and nothing inside us moves. No pain, no joy, just a quiet inner whatever. Today, let's explore this space together and the gentle return of aliveness. Let's begin with something familiar. A story about apathy. Like a car in neutral, engine on, but going nowhere. According to David Hawkins' map of consciousness, this state has a name, apathy. It sits near the bottom of the scale, not explosive like anger, not painful like guilt, but quieter, and that quietness is what makes it so easy to miss. Apathy whispers, "Why try? Nothing will change. It doesn't matter." And the tricky part, from inside it, this can feel completely normal. So how do we recognize that we are in apathy and not simply resting or being calm? Let's look closer. Let's think back for a moment. A time when small things excited us. A new pencil, a favorite song, rain on the window. There was a natural spark. Now compare that to how we sometimes feel in apathy. It may look like no curiosity about what's ahead, no real reaction, even to good news, constant postponing, low energy in the body, avoiding decisions, saying, "I don't care" a little too often. It's not peaceful detachment. It's emotional disconnection. We often confuse this with maturity, but maturity feels grounded. Apathy feels strained. Which brings us to a deeper question. How do we gradually reach this state? We don't arrive at apathy overnight. It's usually a slow inner journey. Disappointment, repeated efforts, helplessness, emotional shutdown. At some point, something inside us quietly says, if caring hurts, maybe it's safer not to care. And that is how apathy begins. It can come from long emotional hurt, feeling unseen or unheard, carrying responsibilities without meaning, losing a sense of purpose. On the map of consciousness, every small upward shift changes our inner energy, from apathy to grief, to fear, to desire. Each step brings movement back. Even sadness is a sign of progress, because it means we are beginning to feel again. Healing apathy matters, because we begin to regain choice. We rebuild trust in ourselves. We slowly reopen to joy. We bring meaning back into simple moments. It feels like emotional winter, when the tree is alive but looks dry. Something underneath is waiting. So how do we gently begin this movement upward? Not through big changes, not through pressure, but through small warm steps. Maybe for us, it begins simply One day, instead of fixing everything, we just fix one small corner of our space. We can begin with one small physical action, one tiny commitment, revisiting something that once brought joy, talking honestly to one safe person, helping someone even in a small way. Keeping one promise to ourselves. Then maybe we step outside, not to achieve something, but just to notice the sky. We don't need to feel motivated first, we just need to begin. Curiosity becomes our ladder. What is the one small thing we can care about today? Energy follows attention. And slowly, almost quietly, something begins to change. Before apathy, we often pass through deeper emotional states like shame and guilt. These states are painful, but they're also intense, active, and loud. They attack us from within. Apathy is different. Here we feel no urge to fix, no urge to fight, no urge to even look. It's not that the pain has disappeared, it has gone quiet. The system has shut down to protect us, and that is why apathy sits above shame and guilt. Not because it feels better, but because it is slightly less self-destructive. The attack stops, but so does engagement. And that's also why apathy can feel harder to move out of. Because in shame and guilt, we still feel enough to want change. But in apathy, even the motivation fades. But here is where the hope begins. Because even this state is not a destination, it is a step. As we rise, feelings return. Softly at first. Interest becomes curiosity. Curiosity becomes engagement. Engagement becomes a quiet sense of happiness. Not overwhelming, just gentle aliveness. If we find ourselves in that quiet, numb place, we don't need to judge it, we don't need to rush it. We can simply move 1 inch toward aliveness. One caring thought, one small action, one remembered joy. Because the moment we begin to care, even a little, we are already rising. Shame shouts. Guilt repeats. Apathy goes silent. But in that silence, if we look closely, we will always find a door. And that door leads us back to life.